From interviews, Lil Jeff's killer seems like a cool dude, but behind the scenes he is wild, and now there are reports that he was acting crazy in court, and we should have seen it coming. From him emptying a clip into Lil Jeff's chest.
And the paperwork can say he was hit 19 times in the chest area.
What's the word with it, man? Hey, man, before we get into this reaction video, man, I want to say I appreciate everybody that's been supporting me. I appreciate everybody that's been like, comment, and subscribing and hitting that notification bell so y'all can come back to me. I just want to say I appreciate that, man, you know? So for further ado, let's get into this reaction video, man. So look, I know y'all heard about, you know what I'm saying, the BloodHound Lil Jeff. BloodHound Lil Jeff is from Chicago. He was murdered not too long ago by somebody named Trap City Rob from Chicago, affiliate that he was into it with. And you know, they got details and more details on the sources of what happened. So we finna go ahead and get into this reaction video, man. For further ado, man, let's get it, man. Let's go. Yeah.
From interviews, Lil Jeff's killer seems like a cool dude, but behind the scenes he is wild, and now there are reports that he was acting crazy in court, and we should have seen it coming. From him emptying a clip into Lil Jeff's chest.
And the paperwork can say he was hit 19 times in the chest area.
To casually saying
they saying that BloodHound Lil Jeff was hit 19 times in the chest area. Ain't that that's overkill? That's crazy work. I don't think it take 19 shots to kill somebody.
That he doesn't care that he killed Lil Jeff.
I understand everybody's sad as shit, but hey, somebody got to be sad at the end of the day. We need to get this together.
The details coming in from the courtroom are wild, and we might be dealing with a maniac. This story keeps on getting wild, so Emma put you up to speed. Lil Jeff's killer goes crazy. When Trap City Rob was picked up by the cops, everyone thought.
So for folks that don't know,
Lil Jeff's killer goes crazy. When Trap City Rob.
So for folks that do not know, this is Trap City Rob from Chicago. This is the person they claimed that killed BloodHound Lil Jeff.
Was picked up by the cops, everyone thought that it was because of Lil Jeff's death. According to Trench's News, he was arrested because shooting Lil Jeff 19 times while he was already on the ground wasn't considered self-defense. Instead, it could be termed as an overkill.
And the paperwork can say he was hit 19 times in the chest area.
He was shot 19 times.
And that's how I think they grabbed Rob for the murder, because it's overkill. It ain't self-defense 19 times.
I mean, shooting someone who's already defenseless on the floor 19 times is pretty wild.
Yeah,
some would even say crazy. And although there's a lot of people who believe that Jeff had gotten what he asked for, Trap City Rob was already behind bars and possibly facing serious charges for what many would call self-defense. However, reports surfaced on Reddit showing that Trap City Rob had his charges downgraded from first-degree murder to a gun charge. Another Reddit post revealed that Trap City Rob was initially arrested for the Lil Jeff murder because a witness placed him at the scene when Lil Jeff died. However, the Chicago Police Department investigated and couldn't prove that he was the actual shooter, so they just dropped his murder charge and gave him a gun charge. And months later, a photo of Trap City Rob would leak on Reddit, showing him in good shape and good spirits. It was a relief to his growing fan base, who had been anxiously waiting for news. To them, he wasn't just another person caught up in the system. He was someone who had done what many believe needed to be done. And from watching his past interviews before he was locked up, Lil Jeff's killer has proved himself as a certified OG. He is not afraid of anything. And according to him, he doesn't feel any remorse for Lil Jeff. He messed around and he found out. According to him, even if people are sad about Jeff's death, he had to stand on business and protect the porch from the ops.
I understand everybody's sad as shit, but hey, somebody got to be sad at the end of the day. We need to get this together.
And if you think Trap City Rob is afraid of his ops sliding in retaliation, well, there's no need to worry on his behalf. He has everything under control. You see, the Bloodhounds are obviously looking to get their get back, and Trap City Rob's death would be the perfect person to send a message to the rest of their ops that they shouldn't be messed with. They are already sending him death threats, but he has a message for them. He was born ready.
Be like, you don't be getting death threats. That's why I was asking. You didn't get a chance to even ask that shit.
I don't take that serious, man. They're trying to kill me my whole life, bro. I ain't gonna.
This kind of reminds me of Quando Rondo telling off people who were sending him death threats after King Von's death and telling them to stop typing on the internet and do something.
Death threat, death threat all you want to, man, bro. That's just some words, man. Do be an action.
Well, 1 year later, he was almost killed by his ops at a gas station. Luckily, he survived, but his cousin Lil Pab wasn't so lucky. Well, Trap City Rob might be different. And on June 8th, 2024, cameras would capture a series of events that would prove Trapsody Rob is serious about dealing with his ops. In the early hours of June 9th, popular journalist Kyle Mazza broke the sad news on his X account saying, "Unidentified male victim shot and killed in Chicago, Illinois on June 8, 2024. Spot News reports that the victim killed is Chicago rapper BloodHound Lil Jeff. His post detailed the harrowing incident, stating, "At approximately 5:14 p.m. Saturday afternoon on the 6600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue, a male victim, John Doe, was near the sidewalk when he was struck in the chest by gunfire." The report further explained what followed.
I ain't gonna cap though. You know, that situation, man, with BloodHound Lil Jeff, man, it's just like, man, that shit crazy because, like, they be wanting to kill they ops so bad they chase them down, and then next thing you know, you don't know what the outcome of that is. You know what I'm saying? Just the way he ran up on him like that, not knowing it was somebody else coming out the house. And then boom, hit him one time, he fell, and then stood over him, shot him 19 times. Like, that most definitely was overkill, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they thought that through. I don't think they thought that through. I don't think Lil Jeff and them thought that through. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they planned that the correct way. You know, they really crashed out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, Lil Jeff was about that. He was on that, you know, and if they would have planned this little crash out a certain type of way, you know, Lil Jeff would still be here, but shit, he was a crasher. He crashing out, you know?
When he was struck in the chest by gunfire. The report further explained what followed. The victim was transported to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. There are no suspects in custody. A large number of shell casings were located at the crime scene, and it wasn't long before CCTV footage of the incident found its way onto the internet. The minute-by-minute chain of events was wild. The surveillance footage from the 6600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue captured a group of individuals near a house and several parked cars. Among them were Lil Jeff's homies, the ones in the black car, the person dressed all in black, another in red who was later identified as Q50, and one wearing a white hoodie. Meanwhile, a man in yellow shorts was seen attempting to get into a car when Lil Jeff spotted him. In the footage, the door of the black car opens. It's Lil Jeff. Without hesitation, he begins chasing the man in yellow shorts. However, his figure quickly disappears from view, obscured by a large pillar of the house. While Lil Jeff pursued the target, his homies did not follow. Instead, they turned their attention to a gray car, opening fire. Lil Jeff managed to hit the man in yellow.
I ain't gonna fake it though. It's too many of y'all for him to got hit like that. That's just my opinion. It's too many of them for Lil Jeff to get the guy hit like that. It's too many of y'all. Everybody should have ran up. But Lil Jeff was a crasher. He finna get him. You know what I'm saying? He was chasing him. He wanted him. You feel what I'm saying?
Yellow shorts once in the chest, but before he could press further, two other individuals suddenly emerged from an alley and returned fire. His body was sent flying back onto the ground at the foot of the porch, and as Lil Jeff lay on the pavement, the shooters finished the job. Reports say they emptied an entire magazine into him from above, making sure there was no coming back. Q50 and the other shooter fired back, but it was already over. There was no saving him, and just like that, the crew abandoned him, hopping back in the car and speeding off, leaving Jeff behind in a pool of blood. As the video ends, scanner reports confirmed that a victim.
I ain't gonna fake it, bro. I know that was crazy. I know that drive after that, when they all was in that car after they seen Lil Jeff get killed like that, bro. I know that drive was like, man, bro, like what, bro? Like what? Like this basically, and this ain't even about no gang shit, man. This basically the leader of y'all rap organization type shit, like the person that's getting y'all on in the rap game, you know, that's getting killed, that died. So I know that situation there, and I know that ride in the car was like, damn, bro, like what? Like not Lil Jeff, bro, like what? I know that shit was crazy. I ain't gonna fake it.
Who had been shot 15 times was transported to the hospital by his homies. CCTV footage actually showed Lil Jeff's carrying their homie from the porch up. Despite their efforts, Lil Jeff was pronounced dead upon arrival. By the time authorities arrived, the scene was littered with evidence, 58 shell casings scattered across the pavement. Meanwhile, the man in yellow shorts, also wounded, arrived at the hospital with his own crew, suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. Although Trapsody Rob is pretty confident about dealing with the BloodHounds if they try to retaliate, There's one person who seems to complicate the whole story, Lil Jeff's brother, Jay Boogie. While his little brother's death is personal to him, he was killed by his own gang members. Lil Jeff's brother plots revenge. Lil Jeff's big brother Jay Boogie is causing a lot of tension in Chicago. Just 5 months before his release, he received heartbreaking news. His baby brother had been gunned down in a drill gone wrong. Just 3 months earlier, while he was still locked up, Jay Boogie and Lil Jeff were not on good terms. In a leaked email, Jay Boogie unloads his frustrations and worries about his little brother. Jay Boogie was worried about Lil Jeff's activities in the street, saying, "I know I'm trying to make it as soon as possible. You know I know he's losing himself. I don't know who he is no more either. He thinks he's bigger than me. I told him it don't feel like I even got a brother out there." His little brother was killed before they could patch things up, and this sounds like a recipe for crashing out. But the real worry is the people on the internet calling for him to slide for Lil Jeff. The internet is a dark place. Strangers urging you to destroy your life for their entertainment. BloodHound Lil Jeff's big brother Jay Boogie is currently caught between a rock and a hard place. You see, just days before he was murked, Lil Jeff asked his homies to slide for him if his ops ever took him out. And the laws of the streets, Jay Boogie had no choice. He had to slide for his brother, but there was one big problem. The guys who murked his brother were once his homeboys. Matter of fact, he didn't have any beef with them. What's even more crazy is that his brother's ops, Trap City, were also confused by the whole situation. They didn't have any beef with Jay Boogie, yet they understood that rules are rules. In a vlog featuring OTF Black and Trap City affiliates.
So, hey, for real, they always cool with each other at first. They always cool with each other at first, and y'all can go look this up. Y'all can go look it up. You know what I'm saying? All of them was cool. BloodHound, Lil Jeff, Trap City, all of them was cool. Because a video of I seen was, it was about a chain that somebody took or something like that. Like somebody took a chain, and I guess BloodHound, Lil Jeff lied about it and said he didn't take the chain, or it was some type of jewelry. It was something. Y'all can go look it up though. And then they got into it because I guess Trap City them asked, you know, BloodHound them like where the chain at, and I guess they lied about it, and I guess that what fueled they beef. I guess that's what they had got into it about. Go look that up, cause that's what I seen. I don't know, it was a minute ago, but I seen that. So that's why they said that BloodHound Lil Jeff older brother was cool with BloodHound Lil Jeff ops. So that's why they all confused about the situation and what's going on, and they just doing shit to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Tero and Rob, OTF Black revealed that he was locked up with Jay Boogie's dad, and that Jay Boogie grew up under the Black Disciples, meaning he was cool with Trap City.
And you know what's crazy? You know Jay Boogie, Jay Boogie.
I think if y'all go back and watch this video right here, and only just this video, I think this the video when they talk about the chain, I think, or the jewelry that BloodHound them had took or stole or whatever they did, and they asked them about it, and they basically lied about it and said that you know that they ain't have it or whatever, or they didn't do it or whatever. So I guess this the video right here. I think this the one. So y'all can go back and look at this, this exact video right here, you know what I'm saying, to see about that.
Shorty, I was in the field of this kid. Like this Lil Jeff brother, like on daily. I don't know how this gonna play out.
And according to Trap City Rob, Jay Boogie was still claiming Trap City.
They say he ain't claiming the hood still.
But he Trap City.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where he from.
How the fuck you gonna do that and you over Saturday night BloodHound? Like you can't.
But we already know Trap City and Drill City was the same and water. Like that's our family.
At the time, Jay Boogie was in jail. So when it was revealed that he would be coming home 2 years early, and just months after his little brother had been gunned down, everyone was eager to know which side he would align with. Would he join the BloodHounds, which he had claimed since it was founded, or would he choose?
So I ain't from Chicago. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So I know everything that goes on in St. Louis when it come to gangs and all that shit. In Chicago, a lot of gangs click up with each other. So you will have Trap City, you will have BloodHound, that dude, and they keep going on to stop, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Everybody click up with each other to make they shit bigger, for their ops. They ops become they ops, you know what I'm saying? They ops become they ops type shit. St. Louis, I think it'd be only like 2 or 3 groups clicking up with each other. In Chicago, it'd be like 5. So eventually, y'all gonna get into it with each other, and that's how I see it. That's why you don't supposed to click up with no other gangs, because eventually you will get into it with that person, and now they the only person that's like really close to you or can get up close to you. That's when you get back though. You know what I'm saying? Because who you affiliate with, which is another gang, and y'all two different gangs, and y'all connect with each other, and when something go wrong and y'all think everything good, that gang so close to you or be around you every day, they set you up, they backdoor you, all that. So that's why it's good to just have your own gang, man, and just stick by yourself. Have your circle small instead of putting all these gangs together and trying to become one big gang. You feel what I'm saying? Because now Lil Jeff big brother don't know what to do because he cool with the people who killed his little brother. So he confused. Now he got to slide on the people that he cool with because they killed his little brother. That's my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. That's just what I think, man.
Choose his childhood friends. But you know what they say about blood? It's thicker than water. When J Boogie came home 3 months after his lil bro's death, he let the whole world know who he was rocking with because he would go on IG Live doing the usual BloodHound stuff, snorting drugs on camera with Q50.
We saw you online, you know, as soon as you got out, you sniffed the perk with Q50 online.
I'm finna sniff one right now.
Even in his first interview back with DJ UTV, he said that he and Q50 are pretty tight.
Hey, so
I ain't never ever seen a nigga sniff a perk. Sniff a perk, you could crunch down, bite down, pop, whatever they do. I seen that. But actually sniff a perk, that's some Chicago shit. I ain't never seen that before.
what's your relationship like with Q50? You know, we saw y'all linked up, you know.
Bleed.
What you think about Q50? That's like Lil Jeff right hand man.
What I think about him? What you mean? That's look Bleed black. I love him.
And since Q50 was among those who saw Lil Jeff take his last breath, you already know that they are talking about sliding for Lil Bro. The pressure to slide for Lil Jeff might start mounting, not only from fans on the internet or his fellow bloodhounds, but also from himself. What most people don't know is that J Boogie might secretly blame himself for his little brother's death, and the reason will shock you. On the DJ UTV interview, J Boogie revealed that he jumped off the porch at 13.
Can you tell us around what age did you jump off the porch?
Hold up, but out here though, probably like 13, something like that. 13, 14, regular age, you know, been bad as hell though, you know.
And what's sad is that he introduced his little brother to the street life.
So around what age did you jump off the porch and start hanging out in the streets?
I'm gonna say when I came outside for real, I was like 18.
So can you tell us like who introduced you to the street life?
My brother.
Your older brother, right?
Yeah.
And in no time, Jeff was hanging out with Vert and Q50, who are all drug addicts at this point. Q50 even took to Instagram to brag about how he spends more than $500 on perks every day, while Vert revealed in an interview that he spends around $400 on drugs.
I don't spend like probably $400 a day, literally.
Vert is so far gone that he's often high and fast asleep during some of his interviews. Even Jeff's alleged killer took to Instagram to roast the bloodhounds for being junkies, saying, "Why would I want to hang out with Vert? That's a shorty and a goofy. I'm from Trap City, not 79, not Bloodhound. What am I doing hanging with you and Perk, sniffing crew, dumbass little boy?" And now there's even a rumor that the day Jeff died, they were all high on something. From Lil Jeff having a false sense of bravado to Q50 tripping and falling like a clown. Everything went wrong for them from the start. Maybe that's why the Bloodhounds have been taking L's for some time now, because just 1 month after Lil Jeff was gunned down, another one of their top rappers and shooters also met his death. On June 7th, tragedy struck in the Chatham neighborhood at the intersection of 89th Place and Langley Avenue. At around 11:50 p.m., a Syrian Hogan, alias Lil Scoom, and his 16-year-old friend Lil Will got into a heated argument with another individual. Words turned into threats, and in the blink of an eye, gunfire erupted. When the smoke cleared, Scoom was down. His friend was wounded, but survived. Paramedics rushed Scoom to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. He didn't make it. Meanwhile, police spotted a suspect fleeing the scene, and a foot chase ensued. Shots were fired at officers, leading to a massive emergency response. CPD, SWAT, and multiple districts were called in, but in the chaos, the gunman managed to escape. Lil Scoom's label issued a statement saying, "It is with great sadness that we share the loss of our artist Lil Scoom, a true creative." Scoom.
Man, I heard something totally different, man. I heard he went over a girl's house, he was getting his hair done. She set him up. He came outside. Boom, woo, woo, woo. They ain't say nothing about that. They said something totally different, man. Sometimes, bro, you don't know what to believe. Honestly, shit. Cause I heard something totally different. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't just say that. He ain't bring up that though. I heard something totally different.
Was evident in the near constant flow of songs and videos to his fans. His immense talent, ambitious vision, and quiet determination made him a one-of-one and an inspiration to so many. We will miss him dearly. Our thoughts are with his family. But even with the L's they've been taking, the Bloodhounds are still going after their ops, and this time, even their family. Get back for Lil Jeff. Talking about family, it seems that Lil Jeff's parents were in tune with the streets because after Lil Jeff's downfall, his dad reacted in a way no one expected. Instead of mourning quietly, he took to social media in a shocking display that had the internet confused. But first, let's look at what Lil Jeff's mom had to say to his son's ops while he was still alive. You see, Lil Jeff's mom had caught wind of her son's violent activity in the streets. However, instead of condemning his violent lifestyle, she seemed to embrace it wholeheartedly. In a now infamous screenshot that circulated online, his mother, revealing just how deep her encouragement ran. "Go ahead, son. Your name ringing bells in the streets," she wrote, seemingly proud of the reputation her son was building by sliding on his ops. In another message, she added, "I love it. Sliding on them who slept in the bed with you." This was no concerned mother begging her son to leave the streets. This was a
damn, his mama was like that too? Mom was like that too? His mama was on there. Usually you would see mamas like, "Son, get out the street, son. This that ain't, you know, it ain't nothing in the streets." His mama like shit supporting it. She with the shits.
A full-fledged endorsement of his thug lifestyle. And Lil Jeff was thrilled by this endorsement. He proudly shared the screenshot with the caption, "All I gotta say is she watched me work that 6T woo." To him, his mother's approval.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course I'm going to say that's a great idea. But
approval wasn't just validation. It was fuel to keep sliding on his rivals. But if his mother's response was shocking, his father's was even worse. While Lil Jeff's mom cheered from the sidelines, his father took a more active role, practically calling for retaliation. Taking to Facebook, he made it clear that his son's death wouldn't go unanswered. And to let it be known, y'all didn't get him. He came trying to get y'all, and what happened happened. But the saga continues. Clear the streets. To anyone unfamiliar with the street life, the message was disturbing, one that sounded less like mourning and more like a call to war, a message that shouldn't be coming from someone's dad. Instead of trying to stop the cycle of violence, Lil Jeff's parents were pouring gasoline on the fire. It was only a matter of time before Lil Jeff's affiliates took his dad's word seriously and went after their ops in retaliation, even though it was Jeff who went out looking for trouble. Either way, they were out for blood, and it wasn't long before they found their next target.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. You are who raised you. You are who raised you. Mom and dad was probably sliding back in the day. You are who raised you. They was supporting that. They was motivating him to do that. And that's probably why he grew up the way he grew up. You know what I'm saying? The support started at home. And they looked like they was supporting the violence. They was on it. They different.
Rhapsody Carter. On October 20th, 2024, news outlets reported that a man had tragically lost his life in Chicago. The previous night had seen shots being left off in the city's Oakland neighborhood. By the time it was all over, a man lay bleeding on the pavement, his life slipping away with every passing second. It happened around 8:41 p.m. on South Ellis Avenue, a block that, like so many others in the city, had seen its fair share of violence. Witnesses told police that two men had approached their target, guns drawn, and fired without hesitation. The 32-year-old victim never had a chance. Within moments, the shooters had jumped into a white vehicle and disappeared into the night. Paramedics arrived quickly, rushing the victim to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. The victims had sustained multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and had lost too much blood. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. The medical examiner identified him as Chevelle Carter. Lil Jeff's affiliates couldn't hide their excitement over his death. They hopped on social media where, just like Lil Jeff, posted cryptic messages that hinted at Carter's murder being get back for Lil Lil Jeff's death. They wanted everyone to know that they had just murked one of their biggest ops. Q50, one of Lil Jeff's closest affiliates, took to Instagram where he posted 3 blunts and a message implying that he was done sliding because he had avenged his homies' deaths. Lil Scoom and Lil Jeef Bullin' Feet kicked up "Now I Can Get Rich. I love and miss y'all." He also captioned it, "P.S. It ain't over." And true to his words, retribution for Lil Jeff's death wasn't over because it was about to get a whole lot messier, because just a few days later, another person would lose their lives in the gang war. This time, the victim had nothing to do with the streets. On November 2nd, what was supposed to be Trap City Carter's sending off turned into yet another tragic incident in Chicago. News outlets reported a woman was shot and killed while taking part in a funeral procession for her brother in South suburban Dixmoor. She had come to say her final goodbyes, to grieve with family, to honor the life of someone she had loved. Instead, she lost her own. At exactly 12:01 p.m., Dixmoor police were called to the scene at 147th Street and Sealy Avenue, where a white Jaguar SUV had crashed into a house. But the real tragedy wasn't the crash itself. It was what officers found inside the vehicle. Behind the wheel was a 34-year-old woman, her body slumped, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. She had been driving in the funeral procession, making her way from St. Mark's Church in Harvey when the shots rang out. The same streets that had carried her brother's final journey had now become the site of her own. Paramedics rushed her to UChicago Medicine Ingalls Memorial Hospital in Harvey, fighting to keep her alive.
In Chicago, they don't play. I ain't gonna lie, they don't play that shit. They pull up shooting up funerals. She was at her people's funeral, and they came through. And during that, when you leave the funeral or you on your way to a funeral, well, when you leave the funeral and going to the grave, they can get buried. You be in a long line with a funeral tag on your rear view mirror. You know what I'm saying? And they followed that and shot her, and she crashed while leaving the funeral. That's crazy, man. R.I.P. to her, bro. Damn.
Live, but the damage was too severe. She was pronounced dead soon after arriving. Later, authorities identified her as Romesha Turner of Calumet Park.
She was beautiful too. That's crazy, man.
Was Trap City Carter's sister. For Lil Jeff's affiliates, there was no line they couldn't cross trying to get revenge for their homie, whether it's shooting up a funeral or murdering an innocent family member of an already dead op. The gangsters in Chicago would take
why, bro? Like, why? Y'all already caused a lot of damage by taking out y'all op. Why go do extra shit? Like, shoot the funeral up? Like, I ain't never understood that, man. Like, is it that bad? Is it that bad? To the point where you already got the job done. The job is already done. And y'all like, shit, fuck it. Let's go shoot the funeral up. Damn. It's like that. That's why that's crazy work.
Things to a new low, but this was exactly how Lil Jeff lived his life, sliding on his ops, and his criminal run was just as wild.
I guess that's how it is when you in them streets, man.
Lil Jeff's documented crimes were out of this world, and to start off small, Lil Jeff once caught one of his ops lacking while in a store, and what happened next was crazy embarrassing. Lil Jeff and Q50 slowly approached the op, Trap City Big Motion, and started pressing him. Lil Jeff, with his camera recording the interaction, ordered the Trap City affiliate to disrespect his deceased homie Liel. Cornered and outnumbered, Big Motion agreed to do it, leading to one of the most embarrassing moments of the gang war as he ended up getting punched up and hitting the deck.
I didn't see it. I see it.
Damn.
And the dead op, whose name Lil Jeff wanted disrespected, also died a tragic death, with the internet revealing that Lil Jeff might have been behind the murder. On the 25th of June at around 8:55 p.m., Trap City member Jalay Algoins, alias Leal, was sitting in a parked rideshare car in the Little Italy neighborhood near the University of Illinois Chicago campus. This neighborhood, sometimes called Little Italy or University Village, is the last place anyone would have to worry about gang violence. However, Leal's ops didn't care and wanted him taken out. That That night, as Leal sat in his rideshare car on the 1300 block of West Taylor Street, someone approached the car on foot and opened fire through the rear passenger window, shooting inside the car numerous times before running away. The ordeal lasted a couple of seconds. Immediately, the rideshare driver took off and drove the seriously wounded Leal to the nearest hospital, which was less than a mile away. But by the time they got to the hospital, it would already be too late, and the Trap City gang member would be pronounced dead upon arriving.
So at one intersection, I had to stop it because there was a car coming through, and then I turned to him to say, hey, I'm going to take you to the hospital. And he said, okay. And then the next time I stopped, I had to stop at a light because there was two cars coming through the intersection, so I couldn't run it immediately. And I looked back then, and he wasn't moving anymore.
What's even more bizarre about this story is that Leal's family works for a violence outreach group in Chicago called Project Hood. Leal's dad was the group's executive assistant while his brother was its youth manager. But here's the most insane part. Lil Jeff would hop on the internet and mock his ops' death by reenacting how they slid on him. The trolling was always next level. But what's even crazy is that he didn't have a problem sliding on females. The double murder of two gangsters, 25-year-old Desiree McGee, alias D Money, and 19-year-old Lil Deuce, under mysterious circumstances, shocked the Chicago drill scene. It wasn't just another turf war casualty. This one hit home. And according to rumors swirling around the internet, a familiar name kept coming up, Lil Jeff. Because after the murders, he couldn't keep it to himself. The world had to know. It all went down in the early hours of November 1st, 2023. Lil Deuce and female gangster D Money were sitting in their parked vehicle on the 8,300 block of South Dorchester Avenue. It was supposed to be just another night in the trenches. But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. According to an eyewitness, two individuals crept up on the vehicle. Before the victims could react, the gunmen opened fire, sending a hail of bullets into the car before fleeing on foot, disappearing into the darkness. It was a hit, executed with precision. Lil Deuce, riddled with bullets, took several shots to the chest. Paramedics rushed him to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but it was already too late. He was pronounced dead on arrival. D-Money, on the other hand, suffered a gunshot wound to the torso. She too was transported to the same hospital, fighting for her life, but she also succumbed to her injuries soon after. Shortly after the news broke, Lil Jeff took to social media, dropping cryptic messages that many believe were a blatant confession. He posted hat emojis, symbols often used to signify a body count. But what stood out was that one of the hats resembled a woman's, possibly representing D-Money. This wouldn't be the only time that Lil Jeff would use hat emojis to symbolize his victims, because two high school students would be added to his.
Why do females get involved into gangs and shit that got something to do with men, bro? Like, I don't like that shit, bro. I don't like when I see a female more harder than a man. I ain't gonna fake it. Like, y'all the ones supposed to be the soft ones. Y'all more harder than the niggas. Y'all on that gang shit more than the niggas is. You know what I'm saying? And then you get put in situations like a nigga. That's crazy.
His list.
I'm taking to killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have two bodies though. For I ain't coming with no. If you ain't got shit, I can't work with no beginners.
Anyone who doesn't know Chicago rapper Lil Jeff, this video might seem harmless, just another cryptic social media post, but to those in the know, it's clear that he was sending a message. And that message was nothing short of a diss aimed directly at his ops. That if they weren't careful, he could catch them lacking like he did two of their homies, Monty and Lil Rob. The Chicago drill rapper had been teasing the number 2 all over social media, and it seems to have started after the deaths of Monty and Lil Rob, which went down on Friday, January 26th, 2024. The victims, Robert Boston, known in the streets as Lil Rob, and Monterio Williams, better known as Monty, were attending Innovations High School, a charter school located in downtown Chicago. At exactly 12:30 p.m., as students flooded out of the building for their usual lunch break, chaos erupted. 2 cars sped toward the Washington train station, just a short distance from the school. The moment they stopped, masked gunmen leaped out, guns drawn, and opened fire. The targets were clear: Monty and Lil Rob. It was over in seconds. The shooters jumped back into their cars and sped off. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but by then, it was already too late. Monty and Lil Rob were transported to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where doctors could only confirm the inevitable. Both teens were pronounced dead on arrival. Lil Jeff didn't mourn. However, he didn't stay silent either. Instead, he doubled down. He threw up cryptic posts like this one.
The shit will start happening, and y'all know this by now. I went black for like a week, and poof. So where you at? Gotta go. After that one, poof. I came back, poof. Long live the
Soon he wouldn't hesitate to throw up the number 2 on social media any chance he got.
You gotta at least have a 2. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minimum.
He ain't care
2. I'm gonna start
nothing.
at 2 minimum because y'all know why I'm gonna start at 2 minimum. Now I'm just doing it for a tradition. I'm gonna start at 2 minimum.
Lil Jeff dropped lyrics that left little to the imagination and made sure everyone knew exactly what had gone down. He even got a tattoo of 10 teardrops with 2 teardrops being connected, which according to internet detectives signified killing 2 people in the same drill. The caption was clear: if you know, you know. If you don't, f you. To him, it was just another day in the trenches, a deadly game where only the most ruthless survive. And in this other post, he put up a caption of 10 hats, symbolizing how many people he had killed. What caught people's attention are the 2 graduation hat emojis, which according to the internet, symbolize the 2 high school teens. Lil Jeff was ruthless to say the least. That's why his alleged killer, Trapsody Rob, has widespread support, and everyone's eager to know why he is still behind bars, and I'll be here to put you up to speed. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.
Yeah, man. That's crazy work, man. That's crazy work, man. Hey, man, I fuck with Chicago, though. I like their music, man. I like how they came up, man, you know, ever since they became one of the cities that, you know, create some of the well-known famous rappers, man. And, you know, I always like the Chicago, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't be tripping off the gang shit, man. I just like the music. I just want them to make the music. That's all. But, man, hey, RIP to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy work, man. Let me know what y'all think about that video, man. Let me know what y'all think about that reaction video, man. Or let me know what y'all think about this video, man. Hey, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit that notification bell so y'all can know when I'm posting, man. And yo, RIP to them guys, man. RIP to everybody, man. That shit crazy, man. But that's just how it go. I guess that's just how it go, man. But yeah, like I said, man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit that notification bell so y'all can know when I'm posting, man. And this your boy Montana, man. I'm out.